decked out 360 with dual graphs, Livescope, cell phone booster, you name it, this guy's got it. If he wants to add more stuff to it, we can add more stuff to it too as well, but I think it's pretty set up right now, guys. Nice setup for sure. He's gonna love it. He's gonna love it. I think so. All right, guys, until we get done with this kayak. We're doing 2 sets of batteries. We're doing a double 17.5 FPV battery system. That's going on the rear hatch back there. We don't have all the wiring and stuff for that yet, so we get some wire to come in too to help run the wire up to the front. Once we get his mounting plate up here for the front of the kayak. But here's the BerlyPro VFP dual batteries. We're gonna put those on there and run them together for him to run his 106 for side scan and his lights. All right, guys, so start off with the bow. We got Yak-Power Lights installed up here. Let's turn it on real quick. On that side. We got some bow lights up front too for him as well, with some button lights. So sure all that stuff works. 2 button lights. So if he needs to use it for his motor, he can use it for bow. For button lights, he's got 2 side 20-inch YakPowers. He's got 4 YakPower button lights inside the cockpit area for his cockpit. He's got 2 tins on the back as well too. And for all this stuff, everything is inside the front hatch, guys, for his YakPower and for his Garmin Livescope. So underneath the front hatch right here, we have the BerlyPro plate right here, Livescope LV10, YakPower hub. On the back side of this YakPower, on the back side of this YakPower hub, I actually have a cell phone booster hub too behind here. So I also going to turn it on off too from his YakPower switches. And of course, to install that, I should use the cigarette lighter for him. So you can easily plug it in right there to turn it on, power it up. The cell phone booster antenna is in the very back, but he also has a small antenna by his seat to help give him some boost on the water. Hopefully it works for him pretty well. I know I have one in my truck, and so far the one in my truck helps him get a little more service when I need it. G56 transducer to the guardian plate. I already did a video on how to do this with the 54, so I'm going to walk you through all the steps. We have 2 106 Ultra 2s from Garmin on the kayak. We also have a Livescope too as well. Show how that works. So it actually has this screen right here works for the Livescope. This screen here works for mapping, side scan, everything else. They are networked together too, guys, with network cable. So you actually can run everything off of either screen if he wants to. But at least this way he can take off the Livescope screen and stuff if he doesn't want to use it for the day very easily too as well. And of course, what's powering his Garmin Livescope and the 106 on the front is going to be a ZPro battery. Under the seat right here, guys. I did do a quick little video on how I actually cut out the foam and everything for that one and installed it down there. So I'll post that video in the link up top too as well. We have 2 of the 106 Ultras, one right here on the ram ball. So he wants to actually, when he's not using it, or when he's trailing his kayak, he likes to actually take this thing, loosen up, and he lays this thing down easily so he can get it into his trailer. That's why he wanted that right there. The next one we have on YakAttack lever lock mount. And that's paired up with their H-rail mount and a 90-degree adapter. So all that stuff is right there, easily for them to do it on and off. Like I said, we have a network cable, guys, running from here to this one, so he has them networked together. So if he wants to run either transducer, screen, drop waypoints, he can do both of those things and control both transducers from either screen. Looking more towards the middle of the kayak right here, guys, we have Livescope mount on the Fisher mount. So you can actually take this thing on and off very easily, locks in place. We use the Ketch plate, which I did a video on that one, guys, so I'll link that video in the corner for you. Alright, guys, so you want to be able to take this transducer off and he's not using Livescope. So you can make a quick connect for him right here. So all you do is unscrew this right here, unplug it, cap this over. This can stay on the kayak 24/7. Then you actually take off this whole transducer and cables off completely and get them out of the way for either transporting or when he's not using his Livescope for the day. This right here is his antenna for his cell phone booster. It's a magnetized antenna. So he goes there and clamps on. So you can actually get an antenna and get a boost for his cell phone service when he needs it. That antenna runs outside the kayak or outside the vehicle it was designed for. And then he has this one right here to help give him a little boost to his cell phone. As long as he's within a certain amount of feet of this booster, he should be fine. If he needs to get closer, he has room to get it closer to him too. If he wants to get closer to his kayak or in his kayak more, he can. But I'm putting it in the pocket for him for now, so it just stores there, out of the way. As we already got the Percy Foot Steering installed in here, guys. Very clean, very easy install. No drilling needed for that install at all. It was definitely nice. Second time I've done this for a kayak. Works out really good. I'll probably end up doing the same install for my kayak, my new kayak when I get my new one in. But yeah, he's got the Living Sportsman mount too back here. I'll walk you through how that looks right here. Living Sportsman mount right there. Of course, some Percy Foot Steering. It ran right here, guys. And what we did is I did some little connections here to help hold that down nice and secure. Another one there. Using that existing screw right there. Ran it inside the mat pocket a little bit so it holds it nice and secure. He still can get inside there and put stuff he wants to inside the mat pocket, but at least it's secure out of the way. Of course, runs up here to the very front to his foot control steering and controls the motor there, which is going to be clamped on to the A-trail and clamped on right there inside the gear track, the front mounting plate. And of course, for his pull cord, guys, what we did for that one is I got a pulley that runs right here. It loops around, goes to another pulley up here. I'm trying to get another pulley like this one to go back here, guys, but for now, all I had in stock right now was this, so I just got that going for him for now. He needs his kayak for the Bassmaster Championship on 10 Killer coming up in a couple of weeks. Actually, next weekend he's leaving, I think. So I'm trying to get everything knocked out for him for that. This cable runs from all this pulley back here up through here. It runs to another pulley, a stealth pulley underneath the mounting plate up there. And the way it's stored, you can pull it back from right here, guys. He's got a nice Hobie handle. I was talking about doing maybe a cleat right here, guys. I couldn't find one that I liked how it worked, guys, but what I did instead is when he pulls this thing back to get his motor back, he can use the small spot right there and lock it in place, so now it holds it in place. If he wants to lock it in place a little less, he can always tie another knot somewhere up. You can do a knot right there too if he wants to as well. And holds in place and it won't lay down as far. Right there. But if he wants to pull it all the way up completely, you can come right here, you can get to a seat, and you can pull this thing up right here, drop in place, and it locks in place. Now his motor's up a little further up, right there. It's always good to have a pull to actually allow it to lock in place for your reverse cord. So what I did for that one is using the piece of cable, has a piece of rope coming to a little ball here. So all I do is pull that up, engage the reverse. If he gets stuck on like a stump or something like that, you can actually reverse off that stump if you had to. That's all it's for, guys. It's not much more needed than that. Not necessarily needed to have, but it's a good thing to have as a backup in case you get stuck on a stump somewhere. At least kind of use that motor to help pull yourself off if you need to.